welcome back to the Cheltenham Countdown YouTube channel. This is another one of my weekly previews focusing on the big race meetings in the coming days and the weekend ahead. There's a lot of meetings I want to focus on in this particular episode with the likes of Exeter, Wincanton, Aintree and Clonmel happening in the next few days. I'll obviously have another segment of my latest jumps news and the race Rebound. And obviously with my previews and tips coming along the way as well for the whole entire video. So what I'll do in this particular video, guys, with my weekend preview and the tips, I will rattle through the big races of each card with perhaps mentioning who I like and a tip along the way in those particular races I'm going to focus on. Then a quick feature at the end of the video with my best bets, and they are non-preview related races. So I'll have a tip in some non-preview related races that I haven't mentioned in the video so far. That'll come in my best bets towards the end of the video. Obviously, do please like and subscribe to this video on my channel, please. It does massively help. You guys know what to do now. It's what you always do, and improves the videos, improves the focus on my channel, on the podcast and the videos I post. So thank you for doing that. And we'll kick off the show now with some significant latest jumps news in the last week or so in the world of national hunt racing. Yes, and the big latest news from the world of jumps racing that's happened in the last few days, guys, unfortunately, is that Paul Nicholls has informed us that Caldwell Potter is out for the entire season. He was looking like, and I really liked him as well, he was looking like being one of the UK's leading, possibly staying chasers for the entire campaign. He had possibly a shot at the Betfair Chase. He was obviously entered earlier in the season at Newton Abbot, but Paul Nicholls did eventually take him out of that race. He was in line potentially running the Paddy Power Gold Cup if that's the route they decided to go down. The Betfair Chase was also a possibility. I'd already put a slight bit of money on him, not too much, but a slight bit of money on him for the King George, thinking he would be Paul Nicholls' main hope as such for that race at Kempton on Boxing Day. Sadly not to be. It's unfortunate because he's a very, very good horse and won a good Grade 1 at the end of last season at Aintree. I think he's a lovely grey gelding, lovely looking horse for the owners as well. So it's unfortunate they have to deal with this, but he's out for the season, guys. So possibly now one of the leading UK staying chasers will go to other horses potentially such as Grey Dawning, the Jukebox Man. You got Handstands, who we'll mention later on in the video. There's some other UK top-notch UK horses about, but I think this one was probably one of the highest ones, one of the most leading ones. So it's like I said, it's unfortunate. It's a big blow for Paul Nicholls. I think he had high hopes for this particular horse all season long. But nonetheless, he will be back, hopefully. He will be back next season, next year, and we'll wait to see what his targets may be for that particular campaign. But for this season, guys, the big latest news is that Caldwell Potter for Paul Nicholls is out for the season. It's the race Rebound time from the last 7 days, the last week or so that I want to focus on next. And we'll kick things off with a wow performance yet again from a horse who's an absolute legend at the track. It's of course Envoy Allen at Down Royal last Saturday, winning a third champion chase, a third Grade 1 champion chase at Down Royal. Just wow. He's an absolute legend of the sport of jumps racing. I think that's his 10th Grade 1 in total. He's an absolute warrior. A great horse for Cheveley Park, of course. Trained by Henry de Bromhead, was ridden really well by Darragh O'Keefe on the day. Beat Founder 50 amongst other horses in the race as well. But I think he was just a headline act. He was superb in that race. I didn't feel in any doubt during that race that he wasn't going to come home the winner. You always felt confident if you were on him. I obviously backed him on the day, actually, last Saturday. I did inform you in last week's video that I would put him up on the day. I managed to get a good price on him on the day. And I think it was roughly about 11 to 4 was the price I took for him. So just wow, like I keep mentioning, he is he's a headline act of that particular meeting. And as an 11-year-old now, if he gets to that meeting again next season, who would put against him? Who would put against him winning a 4th champion chase, a Grade 1 champion chase at Down Royal? So yeah, an absolute warrior, an absolute legend, and I'm sure he'll have some of the big races ahead for this entire season, guys. So the first one on the race rebound this week comes from Envoy Allen's Down Royal Heroic last Saturday. Focus now on the rebound is going to come from Carlisle on Sunday. Yeah, we had a big meeting there on Sunday in Carlisle. I did briefly mention the Colin Parker, the feature race of the card there on Sunday last week's video, and it was Resplendent Grey who was victorious in that race in the Colin Parker when he beat Handstands in the finish. And now Resplendent Grey's got up significantly in the ratings to 153, but is looking likely to head to the Clonmel Gold Cup next at Newbury later on this month. That's his next potential target. So that's a good little win for him to bounce up in terms of the ratings a bit. I was a bit surprised he won, but nonetheless, it's a good performance from him, and probably has a good chance maybe in the Clonmel Gold Cup. It's going to be a competitive race this season, but I wouldn't put off Resplendent Grey too badly in the Clonmel Gold Cup as his next target at Newbury. Obviously, the Hennessy, of course, that's formally as known there. Obviously, at Carlisle as well, starting off the card there on Sunday, however, was a novices handicap chase over 2.5 miles, and he went the way to Ben Jones and Ben Pauling with the Jukebox Kid, who looks quite good. So that's a little mention on the Jukebox Kid. There was also another race there where I have to bring this into the rebound, guys. We had a Brendan Powell and Joe Tizard combination win a Class 2 handicap hurdle with a horse called Hartington. Now, I thought to myself, how the hell did he win this? Because I followed this horse for a while last season, especially with his 2 runs and his 2 seconds at Sandown and Windsor last December and January, respectively, last campaign. He went into this contest at Carlisle off 119 in the ratings and just got up late on at a nice price of 7-1 if any of you were on. If you were on that 7-1, guys, on Hartington on Sunday, please do comment below. I'd love to read what you guys thought of the race as well. There were some decent types in this race on Sunday, though, and I couldn't believe when he won. As in, Hartington now also has an entry on Betfair Chase Day at Haydock in a Stayers handicap hurdle over 3 miles, which surely can't win, can he? I don't think he can, but he's a horse I followed from last season. Another grey horse, of course, so got up late on in that race, and is he well handicapped to continue going further up the ratings? Potentially so. So keep an eye on Hartington for Joe Tizard, who was ridden by Brendan Powell on the weekend. And the final bit of the rebound now, guys, we had Warwick during the week. We saw a 2-runner contest in the Chasing Excellence Beginner's Chase. Went the way of Go West, who won for Paul Nichols and Harry Cobden, finishing a length and a half in front of Josh the Boss. Not a good spectacle, I'm afraid, for a 2-runner race in a novices chase which trainers do want to win. I get that, but I honestly do feel there'll be a lot more of these as well, a lot more low-numbered runners in beginners chases, novice chases, beginners chase races, I should say, in the UK coming again. There's just far too many of them in the calendar, in the schedule, and the fixture list. Yes, I know trainers and connections want to win races, but this is not a good view for jumps racing at the moment. Hopefully things can change, and it does need to change rapidly, because there's a lot of these beginners chases, these Chasing Excellence types of races happening between now and the new year. I think things do need to drastically change sooner rather than later. Moving now on to the weekend preview, just did a quick little feature there on the rebound and the latest jump sales. We move now on to the weekend preview with a little rattling through the big races of each card in the big meetings this weekend and the week ahead. We'll kick things off at Thursday in Clonmel. The race 22 minutes past 2. 2:22 Thursday at Clonmel in a listed mares chase, 2 miles, 5 furlongs a trip. Probably a match-up, I think, between Spindleberry for Willie Mullins and Paul Townend against Bioluminescence for Gavin Cromwell. Both 7-year-olds and both horses are look miles better of the rest in this race. Could be a nice battle to watch between these two on Thursday. And it could be a little pointer to potentially who's going to be better equipped for the rest of the season, maybe, because these two horses are very, very, they're improving types. They're quite... they are improving up the ratings, and could be a good matchup to see. I don't know who I'd side with, if anyone, so I'd like to give this race a watch. They are both quite short in the market, rightly so. But Spindleberry odds on, in fact, Bioluminescence is just shading odds against. So it could be a good matchup between these two types, these two mares at Clonmel on Thursday. So on the card at Clonmel on Thursday at 2:57 is, of course, the Grade 2 Clonmel Oil Chase over 2 miles, 5 furlongs again. 4 runners in this race, but Il Était Temps is very short in the market here, as you'd expect for Paul Townend and Willie Mullins. Gentleman to Me, I should say, is there for Mark Walsh and Willie Mullins as well. Probably, if any, the main threat to the favourite. He'd probably like a bit of better ground, though, I think. So I wouldn't be too hopeful, Gentleman to Me, serving it up to Il Était Temps, but I think Il Était Temps is going to be hard to beat. There are 2 other horses in the race as well, such as Intense Raffles and Sinicia. It's not a betting race again for me. You'd think Il Était Temps will win. Willie Mullins wins this race all the time, as he did even when last season when he won it with St. Sam, who won this race even in a deeper renewal than this time around. And obviously he won it with Alho the year before. He does win it very often, so I think he'll definitely be winning it this time around again, I think, unless any mishaps do happen. But Il Était Temps, the headline actor Clonmel on Thursday. Expect him to go and win, and could be a very, very high-profile name going forward for the rest of the season. Exeter on Friday is the big meeting there at that particular racetrack. 2:25 is the Haldon Gold Cup, a Grade 2, just over 2 miles and a furlong. And it's a decent contest this year with a couple of very good types in the race. Let's hope they all run. So the Haldon Gold Cup, it does have Caliph de Burley, first of all, 7-4. Carrying top weight as a 5-year-old here, looks to set the standard very well. But JPR1, last year's winner, is at 5-2 and will be fancied by many as well, I think. Seeing as though this is his early season target as well, they're the 2 big names in this race. Matador is in here when he should have run an Ascot last week. He's 7-1 for Charlie Deutsch and Venetia Williams, the combination that won the Charlie Hall last weekend. Saint Segal, This'll Ask, and Here Comes Georgie are also declared at bigger prices. This could be a very good battle, I think, between Caliph de Burley and JPR1. 2 good horses. Caliph de Burley is probably long-term the more exciting prospect, given his age and connections and the fact that he's already won a Grade 1 at the back end of last season at Aintree already. JPR1 is a very likeable horse, 2 always runs his races and tends to win first time out at the beginning of a season, so definitely he cannot be ignored either. I'd probably edge towards the younger legs for this race, and obviously trainer Paul Nicholls has quoted many times of late that Caliph de Burley is really the apple of his eye. He seems to relish good ground as this horse, so the good ground conditions that we expect he'll be fine on. So this may be a nice winning start to his campaign, which will lead him onto bigger and better things to come for the rest of the season. So yeah, I think a slight edge towards Caliph de Burley here. JPR1 obviously won the race last season. It's a very good contest. If all goes to plan, we should have a good race at Exeter at 2:25 on Thursday Friday. Friday done on the weekend preview. We're moving on to Saturday now, and this is at Aintree, 2:40. The Grand Sefton Handicap Chase, 2 miles, 5 furlongs, over the national fences, of course. Prices and declarations are not out yet, but I think this is made for King Turgeon again. I really do. Winner of the race last year, okay, off a lot lower mark, and a lot lower weight than he's carrying this time. But he followed up at Cheltenham, winning last December as well. This time he's off 137. Jack Tudor will ride again. We know he races handily, which will be needed at Aintree to avoid any problems during the race. He's the joint youngest in the race at 7 years of age. I really think he can win this back to back. He's got a good chance. I'd say top weight Johnny who was a big claim, but off 146 is swaying me away. White Rhino has a chance for Greenhill and Guerrero as well. But I keep coming back to King Turgeon. He loves this time of year and does come here fresh, which won't be an issue whatsoever. He'll be my pick, I think, for the Grand Sefton. I hope King Turgeon wins it back to back. He deserves it. He's a very good horse, very good, consistent horse. And yeah, I hope David Pipe and Jack Tudor can work their magic at Aintree in the Grand Sefton over the national races from Wincanton now on Saturday. Starting, and I'll try and do 2 back-to-back here, guys, straight away. 3 races to look at from Wincanton on the card. Starting off with a 2:23 on Saturday, which is the Rising Stars Novices Chase, a Grade 2 over 2.5 miles. Blue King Daru, who's had a run under his belt already this season. He looks hard to oppose. Off his lofty hurdle mark, you'd expect him to go win this for Harry Cobden and Paul Nicholls. Breaking Cover, though. Breaking Cover, who's been running all summer for Anthony Honeyball, does also have an entry on Saturday as well. He might have a squeak, I think, in the Rising Stars. He's risen in the ratings fairly well. And if what looks like it will be a small enough field for this race, he could just push the favourite close, perhaps. So that's a little line for breaking cover against the favourite Blue King Drew in the Rising Stars and Officers Chase at Wincanton. We then go to the 2:55 at Wincanton, the following race on the card, the Elite Hurdle, the Grade 2, just shy of 2 miles. And it's all about Rebound here, isn't it? It's all about Rebound. Looks the obvious winner. Will be really short in the market, I imagine. So it's not a betting tip, but nonetheless, he's someone you just side with. He's won this race twice before and will surely land a third, especially after having a winning run under his belt already at Kempton. I'm not even sure if I'd give any other horse a mention in this race, guys. So, as it doesn't even look the strongest contest whatsoever the Rebound will be running in. So, it could easily be a very small field again in this race, and he may be a long odds-on favourite. So, the Rising Stars, I'm going to potentially side with breaking cover over Blue King Drew. Either or, if it's not breaking cover, it will be no bet. And in the Elite Hurdle, it'll just be a watching brief on Rebound. Lastly, at Wincanton on Saturday, I'll preview the 64th Badger Beers Handicap Chase over 3 miles 1 furlong at 3:30 on Saturday. Currently, there are 20 entries for the race. I have another choice I do like here, and it is Collector's Item for John Joe O'Neill. He's a good stayer. And I want a solid selection in this race because I think they will go quick. They all usually do for this particular race at Wincanton. This lad, Collector's Item, this lad also does like to race up with the pace as well. So that will be an advantage, I hope. He does stay really well. And he did win the Somerset National at the track back in January. I mentioned earlier as well, a little line back towards King Turgeon in the Grand Sefton Aintree on Saturday. Well, Collector's Item, this horse, did beat him in that race at Wincanton back in January in the Somerset National. So, come the end of this race on Saturday, that form could look really particularly well. Also, in the Badger Beers, we have Sam Brown, who is top weight in this race. And with his high mark, he's pushing all the weights down for the others. So, carrying 10 stone 8 and 8 pounds for Collector's Item is sure to be positive. Some notable horses here in this race too are hanging there, winner of a Veterans Chase at Chepstow last month. 300 through 5 is there as well. Lowry's Bar, Soul Icon and Eldorado Allen are all potentially runners in the Badger Beers. They are all above Collector's Item in the weights. So hopefully John Joe, and nobody's chalked up yet, weirdly. I think if he's definitely going to run, you'd expect John Joe O'Neill Jr. to ride. But hopefully trainer John Joe O'Neill can work his magic. I'm really sweet to Collector's Item. When prices come out, I may have a little dab on him, but that's the Badger Beers, the 64th Badger Beers Handicap Chase at 3:30 on Saturday, the main race of the Wincanton card. I'm siding with Collector's Item. Quick mention as well for Naas on Sunday in Ireland. They have the Grade 3 Barberstown Castle Chase. They're over 2 miles at 3:02 on Sunday. Willie Mullins might send a few good ones here as well, including Champ Curly and Atlantique. Gordon Elliott has touched me not in the race. Only by Night for Gavin Cromwell. And In the Pocket might make a return for Henry de Bromhead as well. So at this early stage though, I'd like Only by Night, the mare for Gavin Cromwell, I think, who has won at the track before. Distance isn't too short for her as well. Ground won't be an issue. And did really challenge and mix up with some top horses with the geldings as well during last season, including finishing just over a half a length second in the Arkle. So this could be a nice stepping stone for her this term. She's a decent little mare, is Only by Night, and I think she could serve her up against the geldings again at Naas on Sunday. To the best bets for the channel for the week now, guys, and I've got three best bets for the week ahead that I really like, and I've put all these 3 bets in a treble. So here are my 3 and coming up now. And by the way, these 3 picks happen to all run as well in small fields. They're all races that these 3 picks are going to have are 4-runner fields though, so don't expect too big of a price. But I'm trying to put them all in a treble just to boost it up as well. So here they are, kicking off with Ludlow, Thursday afternoon. If you're watching this, it would probably be on Thursday you are watching this, so it'll be Thursday afternoon, 1:30 in a 2-mile juvenile hurdle, class 4 for 3-year-olds. And I like Mojito Des Mottes. So this one I really like. He's a horse for Ben Pauling that will carry a penalty for winning a race in Moulin in France earlier this year. Callum Pritchard does claim £5 off though. He's had the one race start in his career when winning in March, beating a horse in second that day that has won 3 out of 3 over fences in France since. Very good form, you'd think. Mojito de Mott's, he changed trainer to Ben Pauling's yard late last month on his own by JP McManus. There's 4 runners in this race, like I said, but this lad could be something very smart. He is odds on though, but I will still back him, and I have put down in my treble. The next one, part 2, comes from Newbury, again on Thursday, 3:25, possibly my nap of the entire week. Leader in the Park is going to be on a selection over 2 miles, 3 furlongs in a handicap chase. Has struggled to find any form though on any undulating hilly tracks of late. This flat track, and he is a flat track bully, will be really up his street. He likes to lead from the front as well. Ben Jones jocked up, Ben Pauling in superb form, even money, go and collect. That's my nap of the week. And then my third part of the treble is a bit more challenging, but I have put him in Exeter, Friday afternoon, 1:50 in the novices chase there, beginners chase. I'm going for Western Knight for Brendan Powell and Joe Tizard. 7-2 is the price I've got. He runs against Quebecois, Doyen Quest and Tiny Tetley. I'd say it'll be between Quebecois and Western Knight in this race. Both look good chances to be, good chasers to be, I should say. But I think Western Knight looked like he would relish a fence more, just by his size and scope. 3 miles should be fine for him. And despite Quebecois having won at the trip before, whereas my pick, Western Knight, hasn't won at 3 miles yet, I just think the form of Quebecois' wins and runs aren't that strong enough to go with him. So I'm going to side with Western Knight, second in the market at the moment. That is pointing me towards Joe Tizard's horse. So despite Western Knight's form not great over 3 miles, and Quebecois has form over the distance, I just think the form of Western Knight and who he's been running up against is far stronger than Quebecois. So they're my 3. That's the treble of the week. My best bets are all in a little treble. Ludlow, Thursday afternoon. Mojito de Mott's at 1:30. Newbury, same day, Thursday, 3:25. Leader in the Park, Nap. And Exeter, the day after, Friday, 1:50. I'm siding with Western Knight. Get them all in your treble, and I hope you'll be... Yeah, guys, that is the latest weekly preview done and dusted from Exeter, Wincanton, Aintree, Clonmel. We've even had a few tips and a few mentions of Ludlow and Nace as well. There's been meetings everywhere. There's national hunt racing galore these days. It is the season that we all love, and that is everything for the weekly preview this week. Thanks for watching. If you did like the video, please give it a like. Comment below your nap or your best bet of the week. I'd love to read it. If you do manage to win, I'll give you a shout out in the next video, in the next episode, because next week's episode is all about Cheltenham. The November meeting's nearly here. The next episode you see on the Cheltenham Countdown will be all Cheltenham related. Can't wait for it. In the meantime, like I said, feel free to share with anyone you wish to do. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching.